This is definitely a first world problem to have. It's a good problem, I think, but how many times have you signed a new client for your business and then you're like, shit, now I got to onboard this dude and I got to fill up this document and then personalize the contract and wait for it to be signed and then invite him to this group and then do this and do that. I think onboarding is one of those things that nobody really likes doing, like cold calling. And for that reason, in this video, I'm going to teach you how to automate the entire client onboarding process from start to finish for any business, including your business, or maybe you want to go ahead and sell this automation and make thousands doing it. This is what you're going to learn in this video. And I'm going to start by first breaking down all the GoHighLevel automations that are involved with running a system like that, because the trigger takes place on GoHighLevel. So that's where this process initiates. Then I'm going to give you the client contract that I use and show you how I'm able to get it personalized automatically for each client. I'm going to show you the client onboarding form and then break down the entire make.com scenario, as well as the necessary integrations with Slack and GoHighLevel. And here you can get a small glimpse of how this automation actually looks in Make. Before we dive into all that, I want to first explain to you why I believe this is extremely valuable. I think every single business that is service-based can benefit from an automation like this because you solve various problems for them. Number one, it takes on average a person to manually onboard a new client between 30 and 90 minutes. And that's a lot. Even if you're only signing like one client a month or two clients a month, that's an extra 3 or 4 hours of work that you don't really have to do if you have this automation. Now at scale, if a company is really making money and is closing multiple clients a day, then this is where it becomes a real problem, because it's basically a full-time job. If you're closing 5, 6, 7 people a day, then you need a full-time employee to take care of all that. A slow onboarding process decreases client satisfaction. So the gap that exists between the point where you sign the client and they pay you until you start delivering them dopamine hits with your service delivery or even the final product, that gap is where people experience what I call buyer's remorse. So they start having second thoughts. Okay, does this guy really know what he's doing? Am I working with the right person here? Is he gonna take my money and leave? So by decreasing or shortening your onboarding process, where the moment they pay, everything gets settled, then you really decrease client satisfaction. Number 4, manual onboarding results in poor data management. Oftentimes we won't take the time to update the necessary data points because we're busy doing other things that we think are more important. And last but not least, a manual onboarding process is inconsistent for every client. So ideally, you want your business to work like a recipe where you have a process that you know results in delighted customers, and then that process gets followed every single time. If you're manually onboarding your customers, then you're going to undoubtedly have inefficiencies in your process and you're not always going to get the best outcome. Now, what are the benefits to you when it comes to setting up this onboarding automation? Well, number 1, you can certainly use it in your own AI agency to onboard clients. The demo that I'm going to be walking you through in this video is something that I've built for my agency. So if you want to copy it, feel free to do so. But then you can also sell this automation to any online service business for anywhere between $1,000 all the way up to $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. It comes down to the features and functionality you want to add to this automation. And the best part about it is that you can also productize it, which means that you build it once and then all you have to do is copy all the make.com scenarios and the GoHighLevel templates, tweak the APIs and the login access points to them, and then you can sell them again and again and again to multiple people. And last but not least, and I think this is a great strategy to sign your first few clients, is you can go ahead and offer it for free as a lead magnet to then get clients, get testimonials or reviews, and then upsell these people on a different automation. Since you already have it built and it's just a simple file that your client has to upload into his make.com and then everything gets settled on its own, then I think that's a great way to use it as a lead magnet in your outreach, where you're reaching out to potential clients or prospects. You tell them, hey, I have this automation for you. I'm going to do it for free. Would you be interested? And many people would want to automate their onboarding process. They just don't know how to do it. Now, how does this onboarding automation process works in theory? And keep in mind that I've tried to strike the right balance between making something that is easy and simple to build, or at least relatively, plus being effective. If you want to go ahead and add more features to it, then there are a lot of potential functions that you can integrate. However, this blueprint is basically the basic layout of how an onboarding automation should work, and then you can go ahead and add additional stuff to it. But in this case, it's very simple. The existing functions, the way it currently works is the moment you sign a new client, then you go ahead, you update obviously the task or the tag in the CRM on GoHighLevel, and then you fill in an internal onboarding form. Maybe you do it, or the salesperson that you have working for you does it, or maybe your client. Then it populates a personal contract and it sends it to the client and it sends it to you as well. And then once the contract is signed from both parties, it goes ahead, it creates a Slack channel. It then adds the client to that Slack channel via the API, and I'm going to show you how to do that. It creates a Google folder for project information. Oftentimes, let's say you're building a voice assistant for them or whatever, then you're going to need some knowledge base data, so they can go ahead and upload that data there. It also sends them a personalized onboarding email to the client where they can have maybe a link for the onboarding call or your additional details or whatever you want to add there. It doesn't really matter. And then last but not least, it also updates the GoHighLevel tasks using make.com. As I said, these are the existing functions. Now, if you want to add more things to it, you can definitely do that. You can automatically create projects and tasks in Trello or Asana or Monday.com, and you can assign tasks to team members and deadlines and whatever. And that way you kind of get your entire team onboarded on that project at the same time, so everything happens synchronously. Then you can also add a feature where it generates a personalized dashboard for your client in Notion so they can track their progress on that project. Or you can automatically add the client to ConvertKit or Beehive, where you can send them updates and newsletters. I mean, there are a lot of things that you can add to it. I'm just going to cover the basic ones and the structure that I set for my own agency. And then if you want to add more things to it, feel free to do it. If you've seen my previous video where I explained how I grew my agency from $0 to $40,000 per month, I explained to you that I was getting a lot of school inquiries where people are asking me to make a course or start a school community. I don't want to do it right now. So in that video, I said that I'm opening 3 spots available for one-on-one coaching with me. 2 of them are sold. There is 1 spot left. So if you're interested in moving with the rhythms that I'm moving in my agency, I made 10K my first month, 15K my second month, 15K my third month. If you want to learn how I did that, then DM me the word mentor on Instagram. This is my handle right there. And obviously there's going to be a link in the description. I'm going to teach you how to build automations, chatbots, voice agents, AI agents, everything I know, all the skills I'm going to pass on to you. And I'm also going to teach you how to sell those automations, which is that combination that is going to make you extremely wealthy in the coming years, knowing how to use AI to make money and also knowing how to sell your AI skills to businesses. This is not free. If you're looking for a free handout, then there's more than enough content on my channel to show you how to sign your first few clients. But if you're looking to take your business to the next level and sign more clients and make even more money, or build specific solutions that you don't know how to do, feel free to reach out. And if you're a good fit, maybe we can work together. With that being said, now let's dive into GoHighLevel. I want to break down a few things for you and then make.com. So this is my GoHighLevel dashboard, and this is the sub account level, not the agency account. So if you're not seeing all these features right here, then that's why. So you need to go ahead and create a sub account. But what I want to do first is explain to you how this automation gets triggered in the first place. So we go to sites, then you go to forms, click on builder. Obviously for you, it's probably going to be empty. If that's the case, then add a form. And this is the client onboarding form. And this is an internal document, right? Every time you sign a client, you're going to have to come here and fill up this form yourself. There are other ways to structure it as well if you want to, but that's how I have it structured myself. And to give you an overview, this is the information that I'm asking from them. So first name, last name, organization, phone, email, project, deal value, project duration, project deliverables. And then you can make it as long as you want. It doesn't really matter. I just wanted to keep things simple for this example's sake. But if you want to add more information, you want to add their address, you want to add whatever information you can think of, then you can obviously do that. Then create your form, go ahead, save it, and then we're going back. The next thing you want to do is you want to set up your contract. So we go here to payments, we go to contracts and documents. You click on all documents and contracts, and then you click on the client contract template, which obviously you won't have. So make sure you create it from scratch. This is a contract that I use. So terms and conditions, and then there's a place for them to sign as well. And you can see these variables right here get populated from the onboarding form itself. So if you want to add those here, what you have to do is click this custom values icon and then find them using this section right here. I think it's in custom values or something. I don't know, you're gonna do some searching and figure them out. But essentially the project proposal is the client, their email, the company, the deliverables of the project, the cost of the project, and the project duration. And obviously this contract template, it might not serve your specific need, but feel free to optimize it or upload it in ChatGPT and structure it or change it however you like. Now, once you set that up, then let's go back. No, I don't want to make any changes to it. Let's wait for GHL to load. It's kind of slow sometimes, man. I'm gonna light up this bad boy cigarette while I'm waiting. Okay, so once you have your onboarding form set up and then the client contract template set up with the variables in there, what you want to do now is come here to automations, and you're going to set up 2 different automations on GoHighLevel. So the first automation you're going to set up is the internal form to contract automation. And the way that works is actually very simple. So there's nothing to worry about. Let me just show it to you. So the trigger is when the form is submitted. So you select the form that you just created, you filter it, form is, and then you select it. And now every time this form is submitted, it's going to go ahead and send a contract to this person right here that you add. Now, keep in mind that if you don't have a user in your sub account on GoHighLevel, there's nothing that is going to pop up here. So make sure you add yourself as a user. Obviously, if you're doing it for a client, this is going to be the client's name or whatever. The way to set up a user is by going to settings and then going to, let's see, my stuff. And then all you have to do is create a user in GoHighLevel. It's very simple. Add employees. You add him, give an email, and then it should be good. Please don't spam my emails, guys, all right? Now, anyways, let's go back. And then I want to show you the second automation too. So the first automation, as I said, once you fill up the onboarding form, it sends the contract to the client while it's personalizing all the variables. Now, once the client receives the contract, then they're going to have to obviously sign it. And once they sign it, this is where the second automation comes into the picture. And the trigger of this automation is once the contract is signed. So you select the template here. Then the status is completed, and then you connect it via a webhook to make.com. So this is a webhook right here. You have to go on make.com and generate a webhook for yourself. Let me actually show you how to do that. So this is a finished automation. All you have to do is add a new module. Then that's going to be a custom webhook. You add it and you copy this address right here, and then you go back to your, where is it? You go back to your GoHighLevel platform, and then you add the webhook right here. So there is an option. If you click this plus sign, you're going to be able to add a webhook. Also update the tags as well, so I know at which stage each client is. So once I send them the form, or once I submit the form, I tag them contract sent, and then once they sign the contract, I sign them, or I tag them as contract signed. As I said, the webhook is basically allowing GoHighLevel to transfer information to make.com. So you set that up. What you want to do then is set up a router, because there are 2 sequences that we want to initiate. Now, if you want to add more sequences, like for example, you want to add, let's say, to automatically create a project task in Trello, you're going to need to set it up. And using a router, you can connect as many sequences as you like. But then for the first sequence, this is where it adds the user to Slack. Now you can see the first step here after the router is going to be a tool, which is a set variable tool. I name it lowercase, and what it does, it basically converts whatever string of data you want to convert from your webhook into small letters. So you click here, you go to, where is it? This section right here, no, A, and then you click lower and you put in the variable you want to lower. And this is basically going to be the name of the channel on Slack that you want to convert to low cases. And the reason we do that is because if you have experimented with Slack at all, you know that all the channels are on small letters. So you can see here, AI Automations Agency, it doesn't allow you any capital letters. So it's basically all low cases, and we need to convert whatever the data or the name we want for the channel to low cases. So we do that using a tool. And after that, we have another tool where it trims any spaces between the words. So oftentimes, you know, when you're filling up this form on GoHighLevel, you might add an additional space, or some letters might be capital letters. So that's why we need these tools here, just so we don't get any errors when it comes to creating our Slack channel. So as I said, lower the name, and you can name it whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. And then eliminate any spaces. And then you add a create Slack module or create a Slack channel module. And then you name it, you give it the name of the trim lowercase, right? And obviously you're gonna have to run the automation so the data passes through. But then we go to invite Slack users, and then we use the channel ID from the previous module to know that we should invite this user to our Slack channel. And this is where it gets a little more complicated, and I'm going to show you how to set it up. The way Make works is it has a native integration with Slack, but on Slack, if you want to invite some user in a private channel, you first need to add them to the workspace. So the way we bypass that process is by using an HTTP module, and then we make the API integration ourselves, so we can invite a user directly from GoHighLevel to a Slack channel seamlessly without having to add him to the workspace. And the way you do that is, I might have to blur some stuff out here, but you want to create this HTTP module. You want to get this URL, and the way you get this URL, you can see it. You can go to this website using this URL and post this URL. And this is a post request, of course. So copy it, go back to make.com, paste it here, method post, name authorization, and then value. You want to set up the value. The way you do that is you first have to come to this URL right here, api.slack.com/apps, and you want to set up 3 scopes. So the scopes are conversations.connect, then manage, conversations.connect read, and then write. You want to set these auth scopes first, and then you want to create an auth token, copy this token, which I'm going to have to blur out, and then paste it on your make.com scenario. But make sure you add the bearer in front and then add a space between that. Paste it in there, body type row, content type JSON, and then copy this JSON format right here. Set it up this way. Use this bracket channel, the channel ID, and then the email of the person you want to invite, and then you should be golden. Then save it, and then it's supposed to run perfectly. And what you want to do then is go ahead and set up the second sequence, which is where it creates a folder, and then it shares that folder to the client, and it also sends them the onboarding email as well. Now, the way you do that, the way you create a folder is obviously you're going to have to add this module right here. If your Google Drive account is not connected, then connect it, and then set it up. It's actually very simple. The way you want to name it, or at least the way I name it, is full name folder. So the name of the client /folder. And then I create another folder inside that folder where the customer or the client gets to upload the knowledge base in there. I give them reader permissions. Actually should give them writer permissions for this. And then it gets a shareable link. And then I send them the onboarding email. Now you can see the content of the onboarding email is in HTML format. And the reason is because if you put it in plain text, it's just going to be a massive paragraph, and we don't want that. Now I just wrote it in a simple paragraph, and then I uploaded in the ChatGPT and asked it to convert it to HTML. And then I went ahead and I replaced this variables with the variables that I get from the webhook. So it's very simple. You just write your first or your onboarding email with all the insert variables that you want to add. So first name, maybe you want to invite them to, you know, the Google folder, or you want to add a Slack link in there or an onboarding link. Just make sure you add this in your first message and then go ahead and convert it to HTML. Then copy that HTML, go back to make, and then paste it right here, and then add your own variables in the bracket. So you can see first name here, folder ID here, project duration, and then also change the emails. For some reason, I couldn't get the email directly from the webhook. That's my email, so I need to add it manually. But it's really that simple, guys. And then you save it. And obviously this onboarding email, you can add whatever information you want to have in it. It doesn't really matter. But this is a basic automation. Now, what I want to do is give it a test and show you that this actually works. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to go back to my GoHighLevel platform. I'm going to pull up the form. So, well, first I'm going to have to add a contact. So let's see, where are my contacts? Let's just get this out the way. Contacts. So I'm going to add a new contact right here. So I'm going to click add. I'm going to name him Johnny Big Dick. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, Johnny is Yanis in English, so it's the same name. Now, I won't even mention that. And then email, I'm going to add an email. Let's say johnnypink123@gmail.com. I have a lot of email addresses. And then I'm just going to go ahead and save it. That's a valid email, bro. What are you talking about? Oh yeah, I forgot the, oh fuck. Johnny Big Dick. Then I'm gonna add an L here. Give it a phone number. Actually, I'm not gonna do that. The business name, I'm gonna Big Dick Enterprises, and then we should be good. You can also add all the, obviously in a real world scenario, you would add all the information here. And then I'm going to save this URL, or this lead, sorry. I'm gonna save it. And now you can see it's saved. Now I'm gonna go ahead and go to sites to fill up this form right here. So builder, and make a submission. By the way, let me also run this scenario here just so it's ready to receive data. Let me go back to GoHighLevel, and then I'm going to, how do I find a shareable link for it? Integrate, copy form link, or open form link. And now I'm going to fill it up. So I'm going to say Johnny Big Dick. Then organization name is going to be Big Dick Enterprises. And then a phone, I'm just going to give it like a random phone, 672113. Email, I'm going to add the email that I added in the contact level. And obviously, guys, it's important that in a real world scenario, you fill these details right. Project, then voice agent, 2000, project duration, 2 weeks. I'm not going to add any details for project deliverables. And then I'm going to submit this form. And by the way, I have the automations running already. So now I'm supposed to receive an email. And because I have both accounts, I'm supposed to receive an email here. Yes, so onboarding email for Andrew. Yeah, that's like the previous one that I've sent of a test that I was doing yesterday. I named the contact Andrew Tate. But this is the contract. So I just received the contract as a client, let's say. Now I'm going to click on it. And then I'm going to go ahead and sign it. So Johnny Big Dick. I'm going to select a date. Let's use this date right here. I'm going to click finish. And then obviously I have to log in from my other email account to sign this too. So it then submits the contract to initiate the make.com scenario. Let's make sure this is running. All right, now I submitted it successfully. I'm going to go back to, I think this is an email. I don't know, man. I have so many emails. No, this is not it. Maybe this is an email. Let's see. Demo account. Okay, I think this is the one. So now I'm going to sign the contract as the sender. Boom. And then once I click finish, it's supposed to trigger the make.com scenario. And by the way, you can see the details here that have been populated automatically. Now let me go back to make, and let's just wait for it a little bit and see what happens. So as you can see, the operation has completed itself successfully and it added the user to Slack. So if I go here on my Slack, you can see I have a new channel here, Johnny, and obviously you can name it however you want. And then let's see if it created the folders on Google Drive. Let me go back to make, created the, let's see, Google Drive shareable link. Let's actually get it from here. Where is it? Shareable link, and then go to this link right here. So as you can see, Johnny Big Dick knowledge base, and then the client can also add any additional folders he wants in this folder as well. So it's very simple, guys, very smooth. It works like a charm every single time. And it's really that simple, man. I mean, from here, you can go ahead and add users to a ConvertKit or an email sequence. You can do whatever you want, but this is going to be the baseline onboarding system for your agency. You can even go ahead and sell this, as I said. And hopefully you found value in this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, leave me a like, subscribe to the channel. If you have questions or you need these templates, shoot me a DM on IG. And if you're interested in working with me one-on-one to grow your agency to $10,000 per month over the next few months, and shoot me a DM as well. See you in the next one.